What is up, everybody? Chipperverse TV here today, and it seems I am not the only one fed up with PlayStation's remasters and remakes. We have a Sony fanboy himself, MBG, is talking about the same thing as well. He is tired of remakes and remasters like me, which is very fascinating because he usually shills for PlayStation, which I guess he's turned a new leaf. Just seeing the output from Microsoft and seeing the output from PlayStation, there's a clear-cut winner who is producing the most first-party games, and it's definitely Microsoft. PlayStation fans, I don't know, that kind of the roadmap looks kind of spooky for PlayStation. So it should have first-party lineup. So fans are not happy about it, but I'm gonna play the clip so you can listen to it for yourself.
And I'll tell you right now, I am not buying The Last of Us Part 2 remake. I'm not upgrading for it because I'm not interested in it. I think it reveals a problem right now. And the problem is that from Sony's first party, we need new game announcements. We need Sony to start talking.
Yeah. And funny how what I said, I'm just a PlayStation hater when he says it, people, I don't know, I guess the fan base agrees with him. I don't know, but been saying the same thing. Got too many remasters and remakes is a big problem. Not too many first party games. Like this year alone, they only had one big first party game, which is Spider-Man 2. Not okay. Your other big games are just third party games. That's not okay. So I think the output has been abysmal so far. And I think Xbox completely floors them with first party exclusives, which you love to see it because that's the future of Xbox going forward, just showing so many games.
Think about that.
Another clip as well where he talks about Xbox's output of games. Let's play the clip right here.
After game, after game, after game. That's going to be Microsoft at their strongest, regardless of whether, Microsoft is going to have such insane output. Phil Spencer just said in their interview, yeah, we're going to have so many games, we're going to have to do showcases more frequently. Think about that. Think about that. How Sony combat that? I don't know. Sony's not going to be the one with 40 plus studios. Their competition is not fucking around anymore. That is that is abundantly clear.
Boy, have the tables have turned. He realizes Microsoft ain't effing around anymore, and this is the new generation. That competition, like Sadie said, we're gonna bring the competition, and he has done it, and they're finally realizing it. So, just hilarious to see, but nonetheless, look at this face right here when they just realize that the Xbox is gonna be the best console this generation. It's just, it's obvious to me, but I guess more PlayStation fans are gonna finally realize that. So, well, some of you guys have more than one console, so you can enjoy what Microsoft is bringing up, but PlayStation, on the other hand, they really need to get it together. They're the market leader. They are not displaying market leader type of activity with their major first party stuff. They got to start relying on third party and stop relying on these time exclusives from people like Square Enix. You can't have Square Enix carrying your system on his back. It's just pathetic. But nonetheless, let's see what people got to say about this. LOL, PlayStation has no games. Kind of seems like it. Sony can't talk because they have no games. Damn, you can't hold the line. Guess only Xbox fans can be patient with our brand. Honestly, I think Sony shot their load too early this gen, and now this has to be 2 years with little to nothing to offer to players. But you're getting remasters though. You're getting The Last of Us Part 2 remastered. A game you probably played 3 years ago. You can play that again. That's all Sony first party has to offer you, remasters. So it's looking really bad out there for PlayStation fans. Good for him. Sony keeps repackaging the same crap for a quick buck, and people are starting to catch on. I thought this was what he wanted. Yeah, people like Greg Miller said, "What's the issue?" And he said, "What's the issue with them just give you more remasters?" He doesn't see an issue with it, but Sony fans are saying otherwise apparently. So, crap. If they did have new games, they don't have not one to announce. New games, they fired them all. Oh yeah, you do got those live service games, which are probably gonna flop. You got those coming up, so get prepared for that. More and more, he's starting to realize that he screwed up by leaving Xbox. Seems like it. Guess that $70 Hero DLC wasn't enough. And so it begins. It's bad when even MBG wants better from Sony. Yet you know he's got the portal. Once again, that thing is just such a joke. I was like, yes, let's buy a handheld so I can play the games already on my PS5 on the handheld. That makes a lot of sense. The handheld pretty much costs like $700 to $800 at this point because you got to buy the system, which is $500. Then the handheld for $200, then tax. So it kind of makes it almost $800 for a handheld. Just play the same games you're already playing. That makes a lot of sense. No way he's getting tired of being a shill. Watch him buy it in January and say he did for his channel and his viewers. Man, the man looks tired. This crap is keeping him up at night in cold sweats. This guy needs to move to another country. Okay, that's a random comment. Good for him. He is reacting correctly. A logical PlayStation fan would do that, saying, hey, why is PlayStation just giving us remasters? But, the game media won't say that, especially people like Greg Miller. They just say, hey, give us more remasters. Sony is a struggling company. They need more money. I don't blame them. Yeah, it's like Sony's output has been pretty ridiculous, pretty lackluster. I don't see it changing because people keep bragging about the PlayStation sales, bragging about this new portable sales, when it's like you're asking for it, you're bragging about it. So I guess you're enjoying what they're giving you. That's definitely what they're taking away from it. So LOL, damn, bro is going through it. Did a pony just admit they need games? Yeah, pretty much. Sony out here doing their first party games like DC does Batman. He better keep his ass over there. At least then he's bad luck to whichever side he joins. It's just gonna end up badly for the console developer, as you're trying to say here. Like he's a bad luck charm. When a woman's fed up. So people actually give this man any credit whatsoever for actually criticizing Sony Interactive Entertainment's Sparse 2024 first party lineup instead of cheerleading as he is often accused of? Well, no, if not Xbox, he's criticized, and people can be quite ridiculous, or probably not. Yeah, I think the Sony fan base is just celebrating the PS Portal's success, which is a handheld you don't really need. That's a waste of technology. They're celebrating it because it's also on Xbox. So, in Sony's eyes, Sony's doing a great job with their fan base because Sony fanboys would just celebrate the most mediocre stuff possible. I feel like MBG expect the PlayStation to keep pumping out single-player games like they were last generation that were new, exciting, fresh experiences, and it seems one shot late in the left that just wasn't the case. I actually expect him to transition back to being an Xbox guy. When MBG has had it, it's time to change things. Looks like the ponies are fed up. He's not wrong. Hashtag PlayStation. And I think that's a good point to conclude that. This is just pathetic at this point. I do agree it's kind of pathetic.
I am.
It's like they're just giving you remasters, remakes, and then the occasional Square Enix game. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is the next one coming up, and it's kind of pathetic. Like, where's the first party from Sony? Factions 2 is missing in action. You're not getting any new stuff. You're just getting remasters. That's a big problem. So I would include it right here. I'm glad Microsoft is not in this position. They had the period of no games, and that was in 2013 with Xbox One generation, and that is far from over. They're going to bring out so many games, it's going to be ridiculous. Just off Game Pass, it's just so many games releasing, and it's just and you just pay the one subscription fee and you get brand new first party games in that service. So it's the writing is very clear on the wall which company is better, but people will go by themselves and that will cloud their judgment. So I'm going to include it right here. Definitely share your thoughts down below. Leave a like this video. As always, thanks for watching, and peace.